Hi everyone, and welcome to this new video about Fountain of Life and Opulence Global's health product. If you look at the video description, you will see a link to a video that I did on Opulence Global. Who is Opulence Global? What is Opulence Global? The leading privately owned fashion house in Canada since 20 years plus, with an amazing health and personal care line that I've been representing for the last 3 years and a half. And this video is basically the English version of a Hebrew video that I produced a few days ago. Those of you who already saw the Hebrew, it's still good to watch this one because some things will not be quite the same. We have slightly different resources in English, and probably there will be some slightly different stories and ideas. So welcome to this video. The original, today, 7th of March, 2026, the original one was produced on the 1st of March. That's almost a full week ago. And I produced it after I had a dream the night before. And now it's a week later. Let's see how much I can recall from that dream, because the dream was the inspiration to the video. Back then it was fresh, and now it's like recollection after a full week, but let's see what I come up with. So a week ago, before producing the original video, I woke up from a dream in which I was spending some time with a very dear group of people. Great time, you know, food and drinks and laughs and everybody having a great time. And suddenly one of those people in the group goes to another room and receives a phone call. And when he comes back, he keeps the joking mood and the happy mood, and he's kind of joking all about it, but he's basically telling us that he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And everybody is around him. His wife is around him, you know, very concerned, asking questions. He tries to diffuse the tension and keep, like, you know, an business as usual air, like nothing happened. And the thing that comes to my mind is how many stories I've been familiar with over the last year or two about the unbelievable short amount of time that goes between diagnosis and funeral. So at some point I caught him alone, and I approached him and I said to him, listen, would you be open to some kind of a natural approach to treating your condition? Some kind of an alternative medicine approach, something natural. He looks at me and he says very directly, listen, at this point, I would be willing to try anything. So I told him, listen, for the last 3.5 years, I've been representing this Canadian company, and they have this amazing product that has a great result on cancer of all types. And he's like, okay, he's listening to me. And he says to me, do you have an orderly presentation on this that I can actually see? And with this sentence, I woke up, and this is why the video is created. That's how it started. So let's get started. What is Fountain of Life? We are now together visiting the Fountain of Life page at the Opulence Global website. This is basically my page. It says here FOL.1, and then you have the slash, and it gives my username, Solsky Successful, from where I've been successfully marketing these products for the last 3 years and a half. What is Fountain of Life? Fountain of Life is the pure extract for human consumption of a tree that is called the Norwegian spruce tree. This tree grows in the forests of northern Finland, where the temperature for many months of the year is around 50 or 45, minus 50 or 45 degrees centigrade, super cold. Normally nothing could survive there, no plantation, no trees, but those trees actually cover a terrain of 100,000 square kilometers. That's like 5 times the state of Israel, or 3.5 times the state of Belgium. Huge, vast terrains, all covered with Norwegian spruce trees that are evergreen. They never have falling leaves. They never turn any other color. If a branch is cut off from the tree, the green leaves keep their color even a year after that. This tree never has any diseases, is completely parasite resistant. It can live up to 9,500 years. And obviously, scientists have been very curious about this tree for at least a century. So finally, there was this university dean in Finland who managed to obtain the pure extract of this tree for human consumption, fully convertible in the human system to our own antioxidant, the human body antioxidant that the human body manufactured, called electrolactone. And there is, you know, a very, very long list of studies that shows benefits. We're going to see it very soon in this video. I'm going to be looking to my right from time to time because this is where I keep my notes. So let's go to the next topic. And the next topic is very simple. One of our most outstanding distributors in this company, lifestyle director for René Liao, compiled a very long list of studies. We can see here the link. Anybody can copy it or ask me or see the link in the description of the video and see all of the studies, all of the research that was done. Most of it not directly on the fountain of life, but fountain of life has 7 active ingredients. They are called lignans. The meaning of the word lignans is plant-based antioxidants. We have here the strongest, by far, antioxidant in nature. And this, out of these 7 lignans, or out of these 7 plant-based antioxidants, the strongest and most potent one is called 7-HMR. The full name, I think, is 7 something or other materesinol. I forget exactly what it's called. Hydroxymateresinol, 7-hydroxymateresinol. We call it for short 7-HMR. And most of these studies were conducted on the effects of 7-HMR. And we see that these studies cover a compendium of the human condition, physical conditions, health, disease. Let's read it: ADHD, alopecia, that's kind of a skin condition, Alzheimer's disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, antibacterial, anti-cancer. What else do we have here? Anti-cancer, let's go down, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, antifungal. Yes, I personally can tell you of at least 3 of my customers and partners. By the way, I don't have that many. I have maybe 160, 170 customers and partners in 10 different countries. The amount of testimonials on the amount of subjects that I got from this very, very tiny group over 3.5 years just shows the potency of the product. So at least 3 of them got rid of nail fungi. Nail fungi, when your nail gets black because of a fungus, and then you drink Fountain of Life and you use it topically, topical use, and suddenly no fungi. Suddenly the black kind of, the nail goes upward, so the bottom part already doesn't have the fungi, and little by little it dilutes and it disappears, just goes. Whether it's the toes or the hand fingers, whatever, but it just goes. Antifungal, anti-inflammatory, back pains, everything, antioxidant, anti-tumor. Anti-tumor, we have also an Israeli study, a study conducted in the Negev desert by a research institute that is affiliated with the University of the Negev, Ben Gurion's Negev University, by an Israeli researcher named Rivki Ophir, who has been studying cancer for over 30 years. And she found that the active ingredients in Fountain of Life stop the expansion of cancer cell and prevent metastasis. That's the formation of new cancer colonies elsewhere in the body, far from the main tumor. So anti-tumor, there are more research on that. Antiviral, anxiety, stress, mental health, neuroprotective, apoptosis, I'm not sure what that means. Many of you do know. Bioavailability, this means how availability to the different systems of the body. Apparently it's quite available. Birth outcomes, blood-brain barrier, blood pressure. We have people documenting, they're tracking the blood pressure day by day after starting to use the Fountain of Life. There are testimonials of this, and they do like a 60-day log. And in the first few days, the values are 180, 119. Now everything is divided by 10. So they call it 18, 19, and it goes down to pretty close to the normal range, which is 12. So they get the 12.8, the 12.9, the 13, pretty close to the normal range in 60 days. When they use it properly, normally you would take a full dropper in the morning, you would take a full dropper before going to sleep if you are in good health. Some people with tough health conditions will work up the dosages to higher level, 3, 4, 5 droppers, even more, as much as you need. Most healthy people can do very well with 2 droppers, 1 in the morning, 1 before going to sleep. And we have here every link here, links to a study on those subjects that I'm naming: body weight, more about that very soon, breast cancers, cancer therapy, candida, cardiomyopathy, etc. I'm not going to read everything. Celiac, cholesterol, I'm skipping. Epilepsy, fibroid, glaucoma, I'm skipping more. Human immunodeficiency virus, Huntington's disease, hypertension. And maybe it's time to give some of my own testimonials, which I'm going to do. One of which is topical use. Topical use, many people, including me, when they had some severe pain in a gum or a tooth that is hurting, just a few drops of Fountain of Life on it, you keep it in the area inside your mouth for several minutes, the pain goes away. Sometimes it comes back, you do it again. I think it was one of my customers, I'm not sure anymore if it was one of my customers or one of the customers in our Israeli group, but the story goes that she had a severe gum inflammation. with a terrible pain, and she could only schedule an appointment with her dentist for 10 days ahead. But she had fountain of life. So she was dripping it there every 4 hours. The pain would go away. It would come back. She would use a few more drops. And after 7 days, one day, just the pain didn't come back again. It didn't come back on the 8th day. It didn't come back on the 9th day. And on day 10, she goes to the dentist. And the dentist is like, what gum inflammation? He couldn't see anything anymore. And on that same topic, I once had some tainted dinner, and I woke up on the following morning with a terrible stomach pain, and I never have any trouble with digestion and never have any stomach pain. It was unusual, so I had to connect it to dinner from the night before. The pain was so intense, and whatever was there wouldn't leave the body either way. I had convulsions. I felt like I was going to vomit. Nothing came out either way. And I was just stuck with that. And the pain was excruciating, stabbing pain, and really impossible to do anything. I was alone, and I thought already about going to the emergency room, which, if you know me, that would be normally the last thing I would ever do. But it was really desperate. And then I recalled the fountain of life. I normally take 2 daily droppers. But once I thought about the fountain of life, I just took 4.5 droppers straight, like that, from the bottle, dropper, 1/2. And then within the hour, I drifted to sleep, which was unbelievable because before that, I mean, there was no way I could fall asleep. I slept. I slept for a solid 4 hours, well into the afternoon. Woke up, and the pain was gone. I was like fresh. I was like new. I was waiting for the pain to come back. The pain wouldn't come back. It disappeared, which is weird because I never used the bathroom. Nothing ever left my body. But suddenly, it was like everything business as usual. I felt good. I didn't quite understand what happened, but twice every week, every Wednesday and every Sunday, we have a testimonial call by 2 medical professionals in Toronto. Toronto is the city where the headquarters of Opulence Global are situated. There are beautiful videos showing the new headquarters that they just obtained. Crazy stuff, but not going there right now. Watch the video in the description. And the testimonial call is hosted by 2 of our distributors. One of them is Lifestyle Director 4, very senior distributor. Chinese medicine expert, Dr. Henry Seong. And the other one is a nurse who is also the head of a nurse association in Toronto by the name of Jasmine Marcos. And every week they speak about the properties of these products and also about testimonials. They answer questions. We go there, we share stories. And I was asking Dr. Henry what happened. How is it even possible that I had tainted food and I suffered such great pain? And then I just sleep it off. I wake up and nothing. What is this? What is this madness? And he told me, listen, actually, there was some kind of a third world war going on inside your gut, Isaac. And basically, the food was full of very evil bacteria that was producing bloating. However, Fountain of Life, because it's such a powerful antimicrobial, just killed all of these microbes, all of these bacteria. So without the microbes available and working, the food in itself, tainted as it is, it cannot do much. So it just goes the normal course, comes out whenever it comes out, but the problem is gone. Every single microbe there was gutted. So I was doing fine. So yeah, this story made sense, obviously. It made sense. And there is more on digestion. Sometimes sometimes I like eating quite late and eating really a lot. So I go to bed on a very, very full stomach, and normally I cannot fall asleep. And, I toss and turn, and it's like just too much. I feel really bloated. Probably many people after a certain age begin to feel that when they overeat very late at night. And some of them give up the habit. I didn't. But then Fountain of Life gives me some kind of a safety net because in the 3 or 4 times that this happened since I started using Fountain of Life, what happened in those cases was some kind of a twist in the story. I would still go to bed. I would still feel bloated. I would still toss and turn. And then there would be some kind of a crunching feeling inside. I cannot describe it. Some kind of, you hear this, like something is contracting or suddenly shrinking, and suddenly I feel good in one part of the body. It's like, I don't know what, there is an element in the body that is doing something about this bloat thing, maybe quickly digesting it or breaking it into parts or somehow metabolizing it. I have no explanation for that. But suddenly the problem is just gone, normally within half an hour of going to bed, and I can sleep normally as if I ate normal. It's not that I'm going to do it every day, but those times that I really got carried away and overate, yeah, I mean, that feeling of bloat and cannot sleep just didn't persist with Fountain of Life. Somehow, one day we will probably understand why this is as well. And let's continue here with those studies. Let's see what else we have here. Hypertension, immune system, kidney disease. Okay, kidney disease, more testimonials. Quite common complaint. Many people, especially diabetics, more about diabetes coming up on the next slide. You're going to see it. But especially diabetics and many people whose health is kind of so-and-so, especially men, they have to get up 4 or 5 times during the night to pee. They have to go to the bathroom, so they don't get a good night's sleep. They keep awakening. They start taking fountain of life. Suddenly they sleep entire nights, or maybe they wake up once to go to the bathroom. This is very, very common. I even have a couple of customers, one of them especially, who was below 40, and he couldn't pee. He couldn't urinate. He had a blockage, and this can be life-threatening, but it was really devastating for him. He had really trouble with this for a long time, but with Fountain of Life, 80% of that trouble went away, and the problem surfaced much more rarely. So yeah, that's more about testimonials, kidney disease, renal trouble, metabolism, lung cancer, multiple sclerosis. That's a big threat as well. Many of those toxicity-related diseases. The body accumulates toxicity somehow, and then you get the multiple sclerosis or the cancer. You get chronic inflammation that leads to Parkinson's disease, to diabetes, to all manner of gut problems. So it's good to have something that actually works with the gut and regulates it. The gut is called our second brain. So Alzheimer's disease, for example, can be diagnosed through analyzing the state of our gut before we get any sign of it in the brain. That's quite interesting. Gut-brain connection or link. Yeah, a urinary tract infection, vaginal dryness, general vitality. So we see here the full library of studies. There is one study that I'm going to especially focus on. This was a study, it's called the weight loss study, but it's much more meaningful than just weight loss. Weight loss is nice. Everybody wants to look nice, you know, in a bathing suit or something. It's aesthetic. Sometimes, you know, you feel lighter and everything. But when we speak about diabetes, diabetes costs many lives. Diabetes creates complication, makes people more prone to cancer, more prone to heart problem. Diabetes means resistance to insulin, and it stems from chronic inflammation of the body. So, you know, from a logical standpoint, it's quite clear what happens when you add to the equation a very powerful natural anti-inflammatory that just generally reduces inflammation. But let's check this specific 2018 study that was published by the British Journal of Nutrition. And it's about much more than weight loss. You see here the slide. You can obviously take a screenshot and read it at your ease, or just pause the video. I'm just going to say that this study shows what Fountain of Life does with diabetes. Because the moment you begin to remove lipid deposits in the liver, so you will get rid of fatty liver, which is a great predictor of diabetes. The moment you begin to remove lipid or fatty deposits from the arteries, and that predicts coronary disease, heart trouble, heart attacks, strokes, and also diabetes. And the moment that you reduce insulin resistance, okay, that spells it. No wonder that among my very modest group of customers and partners, I have 2 brilliant diabetes recovery cases. People who had diabetes, were debilitated by diabetes, had high blood sugar, it all went away, were kind of without any energy or vigor, and suddenly they got the vigor, they got the energy, they made changes in their lives. They start going out for walks, they stop using the diabetes medication, they change the nutrition around, they felt like life is returning to them. And there was also a third case, but this lady was already also cognitively impaired, so she objected to receive a high dose of Fountain of Life. She only agreed to small doses, and she had improvement in her blood glucose metrics, but she didn't lose the diabetes. She simply didn't take enough of that. Due to cognitive impairment, she wouldn't be persuaded to take more. It tasted bitter, so she didn't want it. By the way, when any kind of a natural remedy tastes bitter, this means that our body needs it more, but this is a subject for a different video. Let's continue here. So this is the weight loss study, or actually I would call it the diabetes study, much more properly probably. And okay, let's go to the next item. I'm checking my notes briefly. So the next one that we're going to visit, if we see here at the bottom of this page, we have here a page of detox. Some people whose health is not very good start taking Fountain of Life, and they say, oh, actually my health worsened because of Fountain of Life. My health deteriorated because of Fountain of Life. Fountain of Life is also a detoxifier. It takes away toxicity from the body. So we are going to find here some pages about the signs of detoxification. when you take a health product that is going to clean your body out from any elements that shouldn't be there, there are going to be some symptoms. And like they say usually in alternative medicine, you might feel worse before you feel better. So don't lose heart. Just keep using it. Report whatever you are feeling to the person that you purchased it from. If you want to purchase it from me, just contact me. My email and phone number are going to be in the video description. Or if you're already buying from somebody else, keep buying from them and ask them or tell them about whatever you are suffering from. If you have any detox symptoms, you are suffering from any kind of health trouble, and you are detoxifying, and suddenly you feel, let's see what happens when we click on this link. This link here, detox symptoms, the meaning, I think it is, or what symptoms to expect from a detox. That would be the one. We open it, and here it is. So we scroll down a little bit, and we find here the common detox symptoms. So some people get lethargy. They feel suddenly very tired, no energy to do anything, headaches, muscle aches and pains, mucus, a pasty tongue, flu symptoms, irritability. They cannot sleep very well. They feel weak. They have cravings. They have nausea, constipation, diarrhea, gas, rashes, low energy levels, frequent urination. So all of that might be attributed to whatever you have already in your body, and definitely not to the fountain of life. Just keep it going, get rid of everything. Obviously that without so many toxins, your health will be improved. There is just no question. What else do we have here? Okay, so let's cover one of the elements that makes Fountain of Life very, very unique and special. We have 3 health products with the Opulence Global. Most of this program will concern Fountain of Life. I will also talk about the other 2. They're called Divine and Arctic Vita. One of them is a cleansing, a deep cleansing product, a multivitamin with glutathione and zinc and some other vitamins and elements. It's called Divine. And the other one is basically the best available collagen supplement in nature, made of fish that swim freely in the Arctic Circle. I can't remember the name of those fish, but I mean, it's all there. And what makes these 3 products unique is the kind of permission that we have from Health Canada. By the way, they're also FDA approved. Fountain of Life is, I'm not sure about the other 2, if they already got it or not yet, but Health Canada gave them a very special type of marketing authorization. Any kind of a health supplement needs to undergo rigorous testing with the health authorities in the various countries, just to make sure that it's not toxic, that it's not going to poison or kill anybody, that it doesn't do any harm. Once you pass that, you are generally authorized to market it, and they don't care really what it does. They just want to make sure that it's not toxic. So you get a permission to market it, and normally you cannot make claims. You have to market it with a disclaimer. You have to say, this product does not cure or diagnose anything. You take it on your own responsibility. We cannot guarantee any result. That's the usual case of approving a health product of any kind. So in Canada, those health products are called NPN, Natural Product Number. They get assigned a number in the system, no natural product number. And the type of authorization that most of them get, the vast majority get a type of authorization that is called NPN 1. Authorized to market, authorized to export, to sell, no problem, cannot make any claims. Now, less than 1% of the products actually get a level of authorization that is called NPN3, which is very similar to the level of authorization of pharmaceutical products. And here you are allowed to make claims. You are allowed to say, for example, that this product is going to improve gut health, is going to reduce the cancer risk, is going to reduce specifically breast cancer or colon cancer, and you can make certain claims. Obviously, Opulence Global is a Canadian company, and Canada is one of the most severely regulated countries in the world. And let's remember, Opulence Global is also a fashion house that produces high jewelry, amazing items, also in 19 karat and 21 karat gold, and they sell to the very elite since over 20 years. And a company with that kind of a history and that kind of a product line, over 800 different products marketed in 204 countries and territories, a company like that, when it operates in a country like Canada, wouldn't dare put on its website anything that it's not authorized to claim. Obviously, that would be quite a bad move. It comes from an official presentation by the company, and we see that we are actually allowed to claim that Fountain of Life will protect the health of your heart. We lower chronic inflammation. That's also borne out by the diabetes studies. Defend against dementia. Here I have actually a personal testimonial. One of the partners in my network in the Philippines is also a qualified nurse. And her mother was 88 years old several years ago, and she was suffering from very heavy, very severe dementia, completely bedridden. You couldn't really help her out of bed. You could just carry her like dead weight. She would be really not recognizing anybody. She even refused to eat. Her daughter had to take her to the hospital 2 or 3 times a week for intravenous feeding. So after a week with Fountain of Life, suddenly the daughter reports to me that her mother was already eating. She was accepting food. So the drives to the hospital were no longer necessary. And then 2 or 3 days later, suddenly she sends me a photo with 12 or 13 types of different medications. And she says to me, you see, Isaac, these are all of the medications that my mother was taking, and I'm throwing them all away because my mother is now taking the Fountain of Life, and she has this new color in her cheeks, and she has this new intensity in her gaze that I haven't seen in a really long time, and none of these medications were doing anything of that type, so they have to go. 3 weeks into her Fountain of Life consumption, the mother started recognizing her daughter. She could have conversation with her. She could be helped out of bed and walk a few steps to her favorite couch, sit down, start eating little by little with her own hands. The hands were violently shaking in the beginning, then shaking less and less, more steadiness, and she could eat on her own, and completely lost that dementia condition. That's the only story in my own network, but there are plenty of them, as you are going to see. Let's continue this, and we're going to check the testimonial community that we have on Facebook. So, protection of prostate health. Again, one of these cases in Israel who got rid of his diabetes. Also, he had an enlarged prostate gland. This was when he was 61 years old, 3 years ago. And then after this diabetes testimonial that he gave me, a month later, he's telling me that he goes to see the doctor, and the doctor checks his prostate, and he says, listen, your prostate shrinked. It now just like the prostate of a little child, a little kid, much smaller than it used to be. It used to be enlarged. So yeah, reducing the breast cancer risk, decrease the colon cancer risk, improve hair health, many testimonials on that, unfortunately not mine. Improve sugar metabolism and control diabetes complications, protect the DNA, improve metabolism, lower body weight, reduce hot flashes, and we're going back to protecting the heart health. Let's go to the Fountain of Life and Divine and Health Product Testimonial page on Facebook. Here it is. So basically anybody can go to this group on Facebook and conduct a basic search. Where is the search button? Here. Here it says search Facebook, and here it's going to be search the group. So I can simply look for anything with a swollen leg, a bladder tumor, a bladder cancer. These were searches that I was conducting for some of my customers that asked for it. But we can search for anything, or we can just scroll and see. Here we have a pinned message with over 100 testimonials already. We're going to take a look in a minute. Let's see what else we have here. So this looks like an acne testimonial. One of my partners in Canada recently told me that her daughter had a zit sitting here, and after a topical application of Fountain of Life, 10 minutes later, the zit was just gone, no trace. So another acne testimonial, something else, and another one here with persistent acne. I'm just scanning them right now for the video. What else do we have? This is about blood pressure going down from 220 to 122 to normal. Amazing stuff. How long did it take? She doesn't say. If I had to guess, probably a couple of months. 220 is really a dramatic level. And this would be, okay, this would be like a very bad scratch and complete disappearance. And here we see a healthy leg, good skin. The skin looks always nicer when we take Fountain of Life. Look at my skin, I'm 54, obviously. I'm also using their anti-aging products on my daily regime, like the cleanser, the foaming cleanser, and the day serum, and the night serum, and the eye serum. So obviously it helps. What else do we have? Okay, spine issues, anything that is inflammatory. Peeing 4 times. Here, we spoke about this. Somebody was peeing 4 times in the night, and then only 1 time per night. Hemorrhoids gone. It also helps with hemorrhoids. We have testimonials to that effect. And we can continue. Poor gut. That was the next one. Let's open this one. Let's open the pinned message. It has over 100 testimonials. Anybody can simply go there and look at it independently of this video. But let's look at several. So skin irritation. This is true. Topical use. We lose the burns. You know, we burn ourselves by accident in the kitchen or anything. The burn will be lost. We spoke about gum pain. My ex-wife, she had a bad cut in her finger, a paper cut. Okay, it was bleeding profusely. I told her, put 10 or 15 drops on the cut. Not a minute later, the bleeding stopped, the cut was completely closed. It looked like a miracle, but we know that this is a recurring testimonial. It stops the bleeding. What else we have here? Wait, what? I need to click that little arrow. Okay, so let's start scanning them. Deep foot wound. Okay, we see the before and after. Beautiful stuff. Finger infection in 2 weeks, also before and after. Deep cut to barely visible in 2 weeks. Brilliant recovery. Notice also the beauty of the skin in the before and after. That might be photography, but no, it looks genuine. Pain gone and less swollen in 1 week. This is all external use, topical use, while you also drink it. Dermatitis. I have a partner in Israel who had a persistent atopic dermatitis. That's a very severe skin condition for several years. It was psychological. She suffered a very big loss several years earlier, and that appeared. And then 4 or 5 weeks with Fountain of Life, atopic dermatitis permanently gone. And we can go on and see all of this. Psoriasis. Recently, I posted this video in Hebrew, and one of the first answers that I got is, what about psoriasis? And there we go. 20 years with psoriasis. One user found real relief. Any of you can keep scanning those testimonials at your leisure. Let's go to the next topic that we have here. Okay, I'm going to speak about my own experience with Fountain of Life. I started using it when I was 50, in good health, with good energy, never any specific health trouble. Really, my body gave me anything I wanted from it for the first 50 years. So I wasn't looking for any special testimonial. I thought, when you're already starting your 6th decade, you look forward and you say, okay, I just want to stay this way. Am I asking for too much? I didn't want to feel anything. I just wanted to keep, because I looked at it as preventive medicine. I understood what this product was going to do. Great, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. Good, let's preserve our existing health for more years. I didn't expect any gains, but they came. I got more energy. I got better focus. I got rid of this sudden fall of energy in the middle of the day when you suddenly feel very, very tired and you are not going to be very effective. That disappeared with Fountain of Life. My sleep cycle got better. I usually have a tendency to become a night owl, to sleep at crazy hours well after midnight. Since I started taking Fountain of Life, I saw that my sleep cycles were completely regulated. I would typically fall asleep shortly after midnight, maybe 1 a.m. I would be up at 7 or maybe 8, but like normal hours. And that's one of the effects of Fountain of Life. Better calm. I felt much calmer with Fountain of Life, much less irritable, better digestion, even better, stronger sexual energy. I will say that. And well, that's my testimonial. Everything was good, but there was so much room for improvement that I wasn't aware of. And Fountain of Life gave me that awareness. Amazing stuff. Let's take a look at the FOL page on the website. Let's see what we can find there, the Fountain of Life page. Okay, we can see a comparison here between the Fountain of Life and other products that are also antioxidants. There are many antioxidants, obviously, in the market. They don't all come with the same strength or with the same intensity. We see how it compares to cauliflower, to apples, to green tea, to oats, to kiwis, to strawberries, to flaxseed even, in the quality of absorption, in the quantities needed. We learn about the human antioxidant, the kind of antioxidant that we produce in our own system after ingesting Fountain of Life. A very interesting page, a very interesting visit of the science behind this amazing product. And let's speak about a couple more products. One of them is Divine. We go here. This is the Divine page. And Divine is a multivitamin. It has vitamin C, it has vitamin D, it has zinc, it has glutathione, and it also has an element that is called pycnognol, which is an element that is very beneficial for heart health. Pycnognol comes from rapeseed extract and also from maritime pine bark extract. And what it does to us, what it gives us, is first of all, a deep cleansing of our system on the cellular level and from the liver. I feel that whenever I take Divine, if I take a nap in the middle of the day, I just lie down for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and I really feel this kind of a deep cleansing action taking place in the left side of my body, and it purifies, and it gives new energies like from within. You feel more clean, you feel more pure. According to some of our customers, some people perceive a metallic scent when they go to the bathroom, elimination of heavy metals. Many of us have heavy metal traces in their bodies, in their bloodstreams, due to the poisoned environment that we have, poisons in the air, poisons that people ingest in some cases. So elimination of heavy metals is very important. We have even people who had blood clotting due to various reasons. And they would take blood thinners, basically. They took that. And then with 3 weeks or 4 weeks with Divine, suddenly the clotting is gone and they no longer need the blood thinner. Quite amazing. Let's read here. Benefits heart health, that's the pycnognol. Improves the skin, same as Fountain of Life in this sense. Boosts brain function and memory. Improves erectile dysfunction. Supports collagen formation. It helps our body generate more collagen. Becomes more important as we age. More about this later. Improves absorption of other antioxidants. So even we benefit more from the Fountain of Life when we also take Divine. Promotes diabetic health. Aids in vision maintenance. Promotes gut health. Supports respiratory function. We breathe better with Divine. I feel that, obviously, when the system is cleansed, somehow it also affects the breathing. That's from my personal experience. I'm no scientist, just a user. And it supports liver and cell detoxification. Last one, it helps to maintain and regulate the immune system. Now, I come from Israel originally, and Israel is a very heavily polluted country. There is a lot of pollution. People breathe in the heavy metals aerosol. People breathe that in. It might also happen in other countries, but Israel is really remarkable from that. And many people have different kinds of poisoning and they develop all kinds of health troubles because of that. And in Israel, you have a number of clinics that do vitamin C transfusions for cancer patients or for people in general bad health. So they take the vitamin C or they take the glutathione via injection. You see, it's a transfusion. Now, injections have some benefits because normally when you take pills or capsules, those kind of decompose in our stomach. Now, we have digestive acids in the stomach. They're very powerful acids, and they're very acidic, of course, and they kind of take away most of the value of the nutrients that we are taking via pills or via capsules. So we don't really absorb them. We can take a pill that has a great amount of glutathione or vitamin C, but we don't derive the benefit of that because it doesn't reach the bloodstream because of the stomach acids. So people go to clinics, they go once a month, they pay several $100s per transfusion. They have to be injected, they have to travel there, they have to, sit at the clinic. It's a monthly affair just to make sure that the glutathione or the vitamin C that they need actually reach their bloodstream and can purify and cleanse and antioxidate whatever they have in their body. Again, notice the non-doctor kind of explanation, but I'm giving you a general idea of what I got. Now, what do we have here with Divine? Why is this justified as something that we take in capsules? Because we have enteric coating. We have a coating. The capsule is coated with a cover that is made of two different types of sea algae and brown rice, which is basically shielding the active ingredients as they pass through our digestive tract. And they actually decompose. The capsule decomposes only when it reaches the small intestine. So the ingredients go directly into the bloodstream. This is why we're going to see also the quantities of glutathione, of the various vitamins. Maybe they're not super impressive or very high, but it was found by our scientists that this is basically what the human body needs, and this is what needs to reach our systems on a daily basis to give all of these benefits that we see here. Also here we have an NPN3 number. We are also authorized to make all of these claims, obviously. This is the company website. And this brings us to another amazing product that we have that is called Arctic Vita. Arctic Vita is a relatively new collagen supplement. It just came out a couple of months ago. I've been using it for the last 18 days. And the impression that I get from it is that it gives a lot of grounding, a lot of strength, a lot of inner solidity. Like it looks like the entire system, the skeleton, the muscles, everything works better. And collagen is what holds our body together. It really helps with bone mass, good against osteoporosis, muscle mass. It helps with our nails, with our teeth, with our hair. It gives us really what holds the body straight and in good form. And our body produces it on its own, but after age maybe 25 or 30, we produce less and less of it progressively. So what we get here with Arctic Vita would be collagen peptides. So this is basically the element that helps our body generate collagen, if I understood correctly. And if I haven't, just study it from the website. You will find the link in the description. One thing that is clear, I personally never took any collagen supplements before. This is my first introduction into this thing. But it's recommended to start taking it much earlier in life when you are like 25 or 30, because apparently a part of growing old the sagging skin, the wrinkles, the fallen aspect of some of our organs in the body, like muscles, like, you know, our stomach and everything. It begins to droop. And this stems directly from lack of collagen. So this is definitely something that collagen intake can counteract. It's an ultimate anti-aging supplement. Let's go and see something about the benefits of Arctic Vita. You can study this entire page and get the entire background. There are also additional elements inside this package. You have your vitamin B7, biotin, you have your hyaluronic acid, quite possible to read about it and learn about it, very interesting. But let's just focus quickly, there are 5 types of collagen, on the benefits, which are here. So we get here bone and joint health, we get here better skin, hair, and nails, we get here immune support, vision health, and amino acid source. It's a source of amino acids. Quite recommended. I enjoy taking it a lot. It's made out of fish that are swimming freely in the Arctic Circle, an area with much less pollution, if any. You don't have hormone injections. These are not the fish that are growing in fish pools, in fish ponds, where you have millions of fish swimming together and everybody is eating the same diet and get the same hormonal therapy. These fish are swimming freely. They develop muscle because they hunt for their own food. The food sources are variegated. It's not the same standardized food that people get in industrial fish farms. So this is a very high quality collagen supplement, which is what I'm going to say about it. I hope this program was informative. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm going to close off here.